Welcome to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. And now, your host, Tori Johnson.
Thanks for starting your week out right with us here on Sooner Sports Pad. We've got a good group on set with us today, and I'm joined with Lauren Linville and Sam Brown. Guys, tell us who these people are.
Yeah, well, we have a rowdy crowd full of friends and family in the audience tonight, and they're super excited. Yeah. Right, Sam?
Yeah, exactly, and they should be, because we've got two sprinters from the men's track team. Joseph Sheffield and Xavier Brown are in the house. We've got a football-heavy show for you guys. Later on, Lauren and I will tell you who our MVP was from Friday's spring game.
Plus, my face-off competition, Sam Brown, gives us a preview of what Sooner fans can expect at Gaylord Memorial Stadium in the fall from Friday night's spring game.
Well, there was a little change in plans over the weekend for the first time in OU history. The annual spring game was played under the Friday night lights. Despite the change in scheduling, more than 50,000 fans came out to check out the upcoming Sooner football team. And the red team, they topped the white team 35-14. And they were led by the new guy, that's right, Jalen Hurts. Can we go ahead and say QB1? No, well, he did go 11 for 14 for 174 yards, and y'all remember TD Lee, right? Morris racked up 79 yards on 3 catches and scored the first touchdown of the game. New Wave 19 showed off. Theo Wees had 68 yards on 3 catches and 2 scores, while Trajan Bridges had 76 yards on 3 spectacular catches. And let's not forget the defense. Good news for Sooner fans. The new speed D under Alex Grinch looks more athletic and more dangerous. Yeah. Justin Broyles got a pick, and Brendan Buki Radley-Hiles got a sack and a fumble recovery. They were fun to watch. I'm looking forward to next season, but switching it up from the gridiron to the diamond. Lauren, tell us about the softball team's weekend.
Well, everybody go ahead and get out your brooms, because to no surprise here, Sooner softball swept Kansas in Lawrence this weekend in 3 shutout victories, advancing their win streak to 28 consecutive, and that's the longest active in Division I right now. It all started Friday night with a 10-zip run rule win. Giselle Flores recorded a 1-hit game, tacking on 11 strikeouts, and the ladies drew a season-high 11 walks in that game. Game 2 was Mariah Lopez's turn to throw a 1-hit shutout game. This time, 5-0. Cindy Romero did what Cindy Romero does, finishing 2 for 3 with a 1 RBI and a walk. No homers in the second game, but don't worry, the Sooners made up for that with 4 home runs and the 8-0 run rule weekend finale. Both of Grace Green's hits made it out of the park in that game, and now the number 2 Sooners stay on the road to go to Longhorn territory to take on Texas this weekend. So hopefully they'll come out with a win. Don't doubt it there.
Yeah, probably not. The baseball team, meanwhile, they had some momentum during the week after beating up on Texas Southern, but unfortunately lost 2 of 3 on the road against the Big 12 leading Baylor Bears. They got off on the right foot on Friday, though, with a 7-5 win. The Sooners did most of their damage early, including a 5-run third inning. Third baseman Briley Ware capped off that frame with his 4th home run of the season. And then you've got Kay Cavalli, who pitched 5 1/3 innings and only allowed 3 runs to pick up his 5th win of the season. The team got a little bit off track during the weekend, though. Lost Saturday 7-3, but Cavalli did blast a home run in the DH spot the day after getting that win, like I talked about. And then on Sunday, that was kind of the toughest loss of all, a 12-inning defensive slugfest that ended on a walk-off single by Josh Bissonette. Oklahoma loses the rubber match, unfortunately, 3-2. Couple tough losses to a really good Baylor Bears team, though, there's no doubt about it, and they've got some favorable matchups heading their way. Up next, they take a little drive up to Tulsa to take on Oral Roberts.
Good. Hopefully they'll come in for a little comeback.
Yeah, get back on track.
Well, Sports Pat's Madeline Roberts was able to catch up with one of OU's superstar gymnasts, Alex Marks, this week. Let's take a look for just a minute.
Hi, welcome to Madeline's Minute. I'm Madeline Roberts here with Alex Marks, a member of the OU women's gymnastics team. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. All right, let's get started. First question, you guys placed first at the Athens Regionals. How was that?
It was great. We had a really like an electric feel the very first night, and I feel like that set us up for a really good second night. And the atmosphere was great, and so we just really embraced it, and we had a lot of fun. So it was good.
Next weekend, you'll be competing for a national championship. How excited are you guys for that?
We're super excited. I mean, it's definitely very nerve-wracking. It's the end of the season. We definitely want to leave it out on the floor, but I really feel like we've set ourselves up for success, and I think that it'll be good. So, yeah.
Last year you guys came so close, came up a little bit short. Is there a little bit extra motivation knowing that you were so close last year?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is. I mean, we've been working all preseason and, like, those little details, and I mean, we lost by .0375, and that's a toe point and, like, a stuck landing. So just, like, zoning in on those little things will really make the difference at this meet for sure.
You're a senior. How important is it for you that you go out on top?
Oh, it's definitely important. I mean, it's something that you think about your entire career here, and now that it's actually happening, it's just kind of surreal, but just going to take it one day at a time and see what happens.
All right, good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking ahead to this week's Sooner Sports schedule, nothing going on in Norman this week, but the baseball team is headed to Tulsa for a rematch with Oral Roberts. The Big 12 tennis tournament for the men's and women's teams start Friday. The softball team's Red River Showdown Series also starts Friday, and the baseball team heads north to Minnesota to take on the Gophers, and their first game is on Saturday. Well, the NCAA championships for the #1 seeded men's and women's gymnastics team is this weekend. Lauren, can you give us a preview of what they have to expect this weekend?
Well, it is finally time for Jim U to prove for good that they both deserve that #1 spot in the nation. It's championship weekend. Finally, we can say it. Let's go ahead and start with the men. They are slated at the top as the top seed, just as Tori said, for the NCAA meet in Illinois. They defeated 9 of the 11 other teams that qualified for the championships throughout the regular season, so a pretty good chance there. And if they take the title, make that their 5th consecutive and the most national titles in NCAA history at 13. Check out Yoel Moldauer and Levi Anderson in their final meet as Sooners. Now the ladies, they're headed to my hometown of Fort Worth, Texas to compete and hopefully come back from a close loss last year. They're also seated in the top spot. They'll face off against Georgia, Denver, and Oregon State in semifinals on Friday, and then they'll have finals on Saturday, and then you can check out all the seniors for the NCAA championship. I can't wait to see if they can both bring them home this year.
You know what? I think a hot take. Not really, though. I think they're going to take them both home.
I think so, too.
That's what they do here.
I think so,
That's
too.
what they do. It is. All right, well, we've got a couple track stars in the house, so I got to talk about how well they've been doing. And if you are not doing anything Friday or Saturday, you have to make your way out to the John Jacobs Invitational here in Norman. It's going to be a good time. This team has been rolling, and this is their first home outdoor meet of the season. It's a perfect chance to check out some of the best guys in the country do it. They single-handedly dominate the triple jump, first of all. They've got the top score on the men's and women's side. The men's squad is also in the top 15 for the 100-meter dash and the long jump. Meanwhile, the women's team is top 10 in the country in the 100-meter hurdles, the pole vault, and the shot put. Should be a really good opportunity for the Sooners to kind of showcase their talent in Norman. I mean, chances are I'm not going to have these plans. You probably won't at home, so why not go check them out? Should be a good idea, and
it really
you can get a show out of it. So
yeah, exactly. First home.
We will get to hear from 2 of OU's fastest men, and we're going to talk some more Sooner football. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back. Friday's spring game gave fans a glimpse at the 2019 Sooners, from a new battle under center to a fresh start on defense. SportsPad's Sam Brown gives us a preview of the football team's hopes at another trip to the college football playoff.
OU spring game has undergone a complete rebuild since Lincoln Riley took over as head coach in 2017. The weekend is now a recruiting extravaganza, but Riley wanted to make sure this year's game was a can't-miss event.
This spring practice and this spring game is going to be a bigger recruiting weekend than it was last year. We've already got more people, more guys telling us they're coming than we had last year. It's going to be bigger.
And with that statement came a challenge to the Sooner faithful.
You know, we had 52,000 last year. You know, we need more than that this year. I mean, period. And we're going to make sure we do our part to make it better for every single fan. We need our fans to be there to show our team, to show these recruits why this is the absolute best place to do it in the country.
This event was loaded in entertainment, from a performance by country star Lee Brice to a celebration of the Sooners' 4th straight Big 12 title. Then came the weather conditions that pushed the game back from Saturday afternoon to Friday evening. But despite the last-minute change, Friday's attendance was one of the largest in spring game history.
What a great night. I don't know that I've ever enjoyed a spring game as much as I just did that one right there. I don't know how many fan bases that you literally change a game day 3 days before, 2.5 days before, and then you have an atmosphere like we did tonight. I mean, absolutely phenomenal.
Sooner fans packed Gaylord Memorial Stadium to get their first glance at the latest quarterback battle in Norman. Alabama graduate transfer Jalen Hurts showed out in his first game in a Sooner uniform, throwing for 174 yards and a touchdown while adding another score on the ground.
I'm a process-oriented person, and I know that, you know, it's kind of like getting the coming from A to Z or climbing a mountain. It takes time, but day by day and night by night, we'll be where we want to be.
On the other hand, redshirt freshman Tanner Mordecai threw for 153 yards and a touchdown pass of his own, but felt like he had more to leave on the field.
Obviously, I thought I could do a lot better than that. But I mean, I think the guys, like all around, got better and took a step forward tonight and watched the film and get better from it. Yeah.
Oklahoma fans also got to see Alex Grinch's Speed D for the first time on Friday. It was an up-and-down day overall for the group, but good signs nonetheless. Several players insisted after the game that the best is yet to come.
Us having an average day as a defense is something that we would get in trouble for. You know, it's not accepted around here, and I think it's just the way that we're really changing the culture. And you can tell, like, just being in the program from last year to this year, like, you can just tell the bar is raised.
Just playing football, you know what I'm saying? Just playing football. Everybody more calm, everybody's more relaxed, you know what I'm saying? Not as much thinking, so everybody's going out playing football, having fun.
Now comes the hard part for Sooner fans. Waiting. Oklahoma won't be back on Owen Field until August 31st when the Sooners host Houston. But with a talented offense returning and a potentially revived defense, there's no doubt those fans will be excited to see Oklahoma's quest for a 5th straight Big 12 title and another national championship. Sam Brown, Sooner Sports Pad.
Now it's time to hear from our guests, Joseph Sheffield and Xavier Brown. Yeah.
All right, well, just plain and simple, how excited are you to finally have your first home outdoor meet this weekend?
I'm very excited. All this traveling got me a little tired, so it's good to come back home and put a whooping on some people that come.
I mean, it's going to be pretty nice to have, like, the home advantage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty fun.
So you guys were actually in California over the weekend at a meet, and Joseph, you finished first in the 100-meter dash, or the 200, I'm sorry, and Xavier, you were right behind him in second. How do you guys kind of feed off of each other when you're competing like that?
We just kind of treat it like it's a practice, you know, don't get surprised by different speeds in the race. We kind of match each other's speeds, and it helps us go to faster times.
Kind of pushes me to run a little faster, you know what I'm saying?
Good, good. Well, kind of playing off of that, you also compete together on the 4x1 relay. How close are you guys, just on and off in the game?
I feel like we're getting pretty close as the season rolls by, you know?
We're hanging out a lot more outside of just at practice and stuff, and getting more familiar with each other to make handoffs better.
Obviously, track and field isn't one of the most followed sports in the world, but what's something about the sport that not a lot of people know about that you think really they should?
It's like the competition.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Realize that it's more than just running. It's a lot of studying film to get to where we are.
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
Very nice. Well, I think Tori has an audience question for us.
Yeah, that's right. I'm here with Sydney, and she has a question for you guys.
All right, if y'all could do one other event besides the ones you guys already do, which one would it be?
Good question.
Think hard. I would long jump just because I think that would be cool to be able to jump really far.
I would have to say triple jump, just because I have like a natural talent for it.
Okay.
There you go, natural talent.
Guys, well, that's all we have for right now, but stay with us because whenever we come back, our analysts are going to face off.
Thanks to our cornerstone television partners, OU Medicine, Anheuser-Busch, OU Extended Campus, and our community partners, Landers Auto Group, Devon Energy, Coca-Cola, and OU Medicine.
It's time for Face Off, where our analysts here are going to fight each other on random sports topics. They're not really fighting, but our audience here here still gets to pick who the winner is. So are you guys ready for your first face-off question?
I'm ready, yeah.
I'm ready. Last one with Sam.
Question number 1. Who is your spring game MVP? Go ahead,
All
Lauren.
right, that's a good one. I'm going to go with somebody a little unexpected here, but he's a freshman who played in 11 games last season, and that is TJ Pledger, running back. To no surprise, he really stood out under the Friday night lights. He led all rushers with 51 yards and 1 touchdown on 7 carries, averaging over 7 yards per carry. And the spring game really gave him a good chance to show he's one of the best choices as starter in the backfield. And I think he did prove that. It's also because really good to see the offensive line still finding ways to make holds despite losing all but 1. And then we saw a lot of superstar freshman Kennedy Brooks this past season, but Pledger blew him out of the water with over 40 more yards and 4 more carries. And let me tell you, he really wanted Sooner fans to know his name, and he did just that on Friday night. So don't ignore what he did.
Hey, that's what those games are for, getting players out there, definitely. There's been a lot of hype around this guy since the minute he stepped on campus, and Friday was just another reason why. The hype is real. Jalen Hurts was my MVP from the spring game. There's no doubt about it. He showed something. I don't know what it is, but he was exceptional during the game. He finished 11 for 14, 174 yards and a touchdown. He also added 12 yards on the ground and another touchdown there. I think you're really starting to see the effect that Lincoln Riley has had on him over the last couple months. He looks like a much more refined passer. His footwork looks better. There's not really any accuracy problems that I saw. That was really a problem in Alabama. He wasn't really more than a 62% passer during his time as a starter. And you can just already start to see how this offense would mold itself around him if he were the starter. Obviously, you've still got Tanner Mordecai in the mix. You still got Tanner Schaefer competing, but some very encouraging signs from Jalen Hurts in Lincoln Riley's offense heading into the summer. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm back over here with Sydney, and she's got your second face-off question.
Who do you guys think will be this season's NBA champs?
Good one. All right, well, let's just go and say there's no way I'm going with Golden State. So give me Milwaukee. Give me Milwaukee, yeah? No? The Bucks, well, they obviously have Giannis, who leads in points, rebounds, and assists, and not to mention his highly likely MVP status soon. But besides him, the Bucks went 60-22 in regular season play. That's the best record in the league. They won big last night against the Pistons, and I don't think that they're going to have a hard time in the first round or the East for that much. And it's fairly safe to say that they will be playing the Warriors in the finals. But I think that they're the team that can finally shut them down and especially shut those fans up. And the players, you know, they speak very highly of head coach Mike Budenholzer, who won the NBCA Coach of the Year. He's led them to a fantastic season, and I think he's about to lead them to a championship.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I actually have picked the Warriors to win the championship the last 4 seasons. But this season just feels different. I got to go with a different team. I can't go with the Warriors again. I'm going with the Toronto Raptors. A little bit of a sleeper pick to go in there and win it all. Thank you. That's fine. I'll take it. Let's break this down. It starts with Kawhi Leonard, who's averaging over 26 points and almost 7 rebounds a game. And he can lock down any other team's best player on any given night. Kyle Lowry did have a terrible game 1, yes, I know, but he also had 8 assists and 7 boards, so I think he'll find his groove as the playoffs go on. The Raptors also have a lot of valuable pieces around those two. Pascal Siakam is probably going to win the Most Improved Player of the Year. Marcus Gasol, maybe 34, but he's still a 3-time All-Star. He's still an All-Defensive Player of the Year. Serge Ibaka, Danny Green, they have both been to the playoffs before as well. That is their core group. They have a bunch of guys who are very battle-tested, who have been to very close to a title before. I think this is the year they pull it off. I'm a little scared that Drake might curse them and something's going to go wrong, but I think they'll get through it. I think they win.
Okay, guys, well, now it's time for Phase 3 of Face Off. Show me your viral videos. Go ahead, Lauren.
Well, I don't think that this video really needs that much explanation. If you didn't see somebody win the Masters yesterday, don't worry. I've got it for you. It was Tiger Woods. How could you miss it? Everybody, I'm pretty sure, missed that famous fist pump in his Sunday red. And I think the best part of this whole thing was that he got to do it in front of his kids. His kids always knew him as Dad, the incredible golfer. You know, Dad, this great golfer, but they finally got to see it for themselves. And
Yeah.
if you don't love golf, love Tiger, then I'm sorry, but this was an incredible moment for sports in general.
Yeah, that moment's right there. That's priceless. You can't. It's amazing. But I'm going to shift the focus back here to Norman. We talked about the two quarterbacks competing here, but what about the guy coming next year? Spencer Rattler, you may know his name, was hanging out with Malik Zaire in Arizona, former Notre Dame quarterback, and he pulled this off. Take a look at this.
We do it the best here, baby. Trick shot off the mountain. Oh, man.
Holy.
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
Oh, yeah.
Holy. Oh! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
From the top of the mountain into the bucket. I mean, that is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. And you thought Baker was good. You thought Kyler was good. Wait till this guy gets to Norman, Oklahoma, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be something else, let me tell you.
Okay, well now it is time to vote for our winners. You guys in the stands get to cheer the loudest for who you think won. So if you think it was Lauren, go ahead and cheer. Cheers Lauren's ever gotten. This is a record. Okay, so now if you think Sam was the winner, go ahead. I think there's a pretty obvious winner here. It is Lauren Linville. She takes the crown this time. But we have to go to break, but stay with us. When we come back, we're going to find out how well these two guys know each other.
Love you, though.
Love you, Joe.
I asked Joseph a bunch of random questions. Now Xavier's going to try to guess the answers, and we're going to get started right now, okay? So question number 1. What is Joseph's favorite cheat meal? Is it A, Mexican, B, ice cream, C, canes, or D, cheeseburgers?
I'm going to say a cheeseburger.
Okay, let's see. You got it.
Yeah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, question number 2. Who is his favorite NBA team? Is it A, the Lakers, B, the Mavs, or C, the Raptors, or D, the Warriors?
I'm going to say the Mavs. He's from Dallas.
Okay. You got it.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, well, that is actually all the time we have for questions. You went 2 for 2, so you win. Thank you for joining us this week.
That's what I'm talking about.